What if I told you that your Social Security check might actually go farther halfway around the world than it does in America? For a lot of Americans, retirement has become something they worry about instead of something they look forward to. Maybe you looked at your savings. Maybe you've looked at your expected Social Security benefit and thought, there's no way I can afford the retirement I imagine in the US. What if the problem isn't your retirement? What if it's where you're planning to retire? Over the last few years, my husband and I have traveled through Southeast Asia and seeing what everyday life actually costs, not as tourists, but as people who are asking, could we live here? And today I'm going to share 5 countries where many Americans are able to stretch their Social Security much farther than they can in the United States. I'll cover the cost of living, healthcare, lifestyle, and who each country is best for. It's not just about being the cheapest, it's about getting the best overall retirement lifestyle and the quality of life you want. Before we jump into the list, I want to make one quick point. This isn't the ranking of the 5 cheapest countries in the world. These are 5 countries that I believe offer one of the best combination of affordability, lifestyle, and the practicality for American retirees. Also, everyone's Social Security is different. For some might receive $1,500 a month, while others receive well over $3,000. So rather than giving one magic number, I'll talk about the kind of lifestyle your retirement income could realistically support in each destination. The average Social Security check for retirees in America is $1,900 to $2,100 a month per person. That's just the average. You might have more, you might have less. So let's get started. Number 5 is Cambodia. And Cambodia is often overlooked and doesn't get mentioned enough in these kind of videos. It's one of the least expensive countries in Southeast Asia, and it's super calm. Rent outside the tourist hotspots can be surprisingly affordable, and food is inexpensive, transportation costs very little, and healthcare isn't as developed as Thailand or Malaysia, so many expats travel to neighboring countries for major medical care. That's just something you need to know. If your biggest priority is stretching every dollar, Cambodia definitely deserves a look. So here are the pros about retiring in Cambodia. It's very low cost of living. People are friendly. Housing is affordable. Things to consider are healthcare. Like I mentioned, you might have to travel to a neighboring country. Infrastructure is not as developed as Thailand or some of the other neighboring countries like Malaysia, Singapore. Also, the expat community is smaller than some of these other well-known countries. Number 4 is the Philippines. One major advantage about Philippines is English is widely spoken. One of the biggest struggle busts that most people face when you're traveling through Southeast Asia is like Thailand and Vietnam and some of the other countries, language is a big barrier, especially if you want to retire there and live there long term. For you to get past like surface level conversation and functions, like you can use Google Translate to go to the store and buy something or talk to someone, get a direction. But if you want to have meaningful conversation and personal connections and friendship on a deeper level with the locals, you want to be able to speak the language. And a lot of times the languages in some of the Southeast countries with tonal language like Thai and Vietnam are very difficult for average American to learn, especially for retirees. Now, if you have a knack for language and you want to do that, good for you. But language is a huge advantage in Philippines. Everybody speaks English, and you would be able to have much better communication with almost everybody. That makes daily life much easier for many Americans. You'll also find beautiful islands in Philippines. Philippines are one of the best known places for their islands, warm weather, established expat communities. Housing still can be very affordable, especially outside of Manila. Healthcare is generally good in larger cities, but what are the downsides? Well, traffic can be pretty intense in large cities. Power outages are known to happen in some areas. And if you're depending on some kind of remote work or something that you have to do while during your retirement to supplement your income, that might be a problem. And Wi-Fi may or may not be super reliable depending on where you're at. The island living isn't for everyone. And just like any other country, things take a little bit longer. Things don't always go according to plan in the Philippines. And you just kind of have to be a lot more flexible and go with the flow and adopt their way of living, which is things always take longer. Hey, real quick, before we continue our video, if you're an American hoping to retire and slow travel the world sometime within the next 2 to 5 years, I've created a free resource just for you. It's called the Retirement Travel Readiness Checklist. In it, I walk you through the 12 biggest things to have in place before you make the leap to retirement abroad. I'm putting the finishing touches on it right now, and my goal is to release it as soon as this channel reaches 500 subscribers. So if you don't want to miss it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be one of the first to get your free copy when it's released. All right, let's get back to the video. Number 3 is Vietnam, and Vietnam honestly surprised us. We absolutely loved our time there. Cities like Da Nang, for example, offer an incredible combination of affordability, beaches, mountains, excellent food, and modern conveniences. Expat communities are great. Housing is still affordable. Eating out is inexpensive. Transportation is cheap. Healthcare has improved significantly in large cities like Hanoi, Saigon, Da Nang. For retirees who enjoy an active lifestyle, Vietnam offers tremendous value. One thing to remember, Vietnam doesn't currently offer a straightforward retirement visa, so you have to do research on long-term visa options carefully, or do what most people do there, which is do the visa run every 3 months. And number 2 is Malaysia. Malaysia is probably one of the most underrated retirement destinations anywhere. Kuala Lumpur feels like incredibly modern. Healthcare is top-notch, excellent, world-class. Everything is in English, and you don't have any language difficulty over there. Shopping is still world-class, amazing malls, infrastructures are very, very modern, and amazing high-rise condos with great amenities. Transportation is still very cheap, and food is affordable and good. It costs more than Vietnam or Cambodia, but many retirees feel that higher quality of life is worth it in Malaysia. If comfort is important to you and you don't want to deal with language difficulty as much, Malaysia should absolutely be one of your shortlists. Number 1 selling point for Malaysia is the infrastructure and language. And to top it off, if you have any health concern, Malaysia is the best country to land on to get the best healthcare at a fraction of the price of the US, even if you pay out of pocket. Of course, last but not least, number 1 is Thailand. Thailand continues to be one of my favorite retirement destinations, and it offers incredible balance of affordability, healthcare, food, transportation, safety, and lifestyle. Whether you prefer the energy of Bangkok or the mountains of Chiang Mai or the beaches farther south, there's something for almost everyone in Thailand. Thailand also has one of the strongest retirement infrastructures in Southeast Asia, with established expat communities and private hospitals that many international retirees use. Of course, visa requirements do change quite often, so always verify the latest visa information before you're making plans. One of the best options for Thailand long-term visa is if you're over 50, if you qualify for the retirement visa for Thailand, that could be a great option for you. Now, if you're under 50 and if you don't meet the qualification for the retirement visa for Thailand, then maybe you can qualify for the DTB visa for Thailand. That gives you 5 years of visa to come and go and to stay there up to 6 months at a time. And you can do that as many times as you want. So do check those out if you're looking for a long-term retirement plan in Thailand. So which country would I choose personally? If I had to rank them personally, number 1 would still be Thailand. Number 2 would be Malaysia. Number 3 for me would be Vietnam. Number 4 would be Philippines. And number 5 will be Cambodia. Now, here's something important. There isn't one perfect country. The best country is the one that fits your priorities. Maybe that's healthcare. Maybe that's beaches. Maybe that's affordability. Maybe it's walkability. Maybe it's staying under a certain monthly budget. And that's why I always encourage people to take a scouting trip before making any permanent decisions. Nothing replaces the foot on the ground personal experience compared to watching videos. The good news is this: retiring overseas isn't just for wealthy people. With careful planning, realistic expectations, and the right destinations, many Americans are discovering that retiring abroad can actually be more affordable and much better quality of life than they can afford in the United States. So if you think your Social Security check of $1,900 to $2,100, which is the average Social Security check American gets, where can you live comfortably in the United States? If that's all you have, you don't have any pensions, you don't have any retirement, investment, savings, or anything like that. If all you had was to retire on your Social Security of $1,900 to $2,100, look at these 5 countries in Southeast Asia. One of them or many of them might be able to afford you an amazing life that you could only dream of in the United States. If you're planning to retire and slow travel the world in the next 2 to 5 years, I would love to have you join this channel. Go ahead and hit subscribe so you don't miss future videos. And remember, I'm also getting ready to release my free retirement travel readiness checklist as soon as we reach 500 subscribers. My goal with the budget travel therapy is simple: to help Americans turn someday into today. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and I'll see you in the next video.